What's up, YouTube? My name is Big Boy Snatch on TV, aka what kind of Snatch you want, because I got plenty go around. As you can tell by the title, the thumbnail, and the video, this is my WWE NXT review on high. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the video from all the way from the beginning or towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content that I do on the channel, because I'm on the road to 11K and becoming a path to YouTube partner. So without further ado, go check out my WWE Raw review on highs, and that's all I gotta say. Now, WWE NXT was a pretty decent show for what it was. All right, now let's get started. Welcome to the Wrestling Bazaar for WWE NXT on September 2nd, 2025. Coming to you live from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. NXT champion Oba Femi, NXT champion Oba Femi will be joining forces with this new number one contender, Ricky Saints, and former NXT Tag Team Champion Hank Walker and Tank Legger to make our current NXT Tag Team Champions Deion Lennox, Arthur Griffin, Cutler James, and Shaquan Sugars of Dark State. After Ricky Saints defeating Josh Bridges to secure a future shot at Obafemi's title during last Tuesday's edition of NXT, Obafemi came to the ring to send Ricky Saints a message until Dark State appears to confront the pair. A subsequent brawl broke out between the six men, but Walker and Legger ran down to the ring to even the odds. After herself and Kelani Jordan came up short to Lola Vice in a triple threat number one contenders match at NXT Heatwave on August 24th. Jada Parker will be returning to action as she goes one-on-one with Lash Legend. All through, Jada Parker and Lash Legend have met one another in tag team matches, four-way matches, and battle royal competition. This will mark the first time they meet in a singles action on television. TNA wrestling star Zaya Brookside will be competing on NXT for the first time ever as she squares up with Candice LeRae in a first round match for the WWE Women's Speed Championship No More Contenders tournament. Not only is Candice LeRae a former WWE Women's Speed Champion, but this will also mark her first time competing in NXT ring since the NXT The Great American Bash television special on July 4th, 2021. So we are live. Yeah, we are live. Big Joseph and Booker T greet audience at home as Jada Parker makes her way to the ring. Lash Legend follows. So we get the first match. So we get Lash Legend versus Jada Parker, and this was a not a bad match. This was a pretty good match in my opinion, but Jada Parker should have won though. The bell rings and the two shove one another. Jada Parker fires off shoulders on Lash Legend in the corner, but Lash Legend responds with a shoulder tackle and a standing splash to Jada Parker. Jada Parker looks to land shoulder tackles of her own on Lash Legend, but Lash Legend blocks them. Jada Parker drapes Lash Legend across the middle turnbuckle and looks to land her signature hip attack on her, but Lash Legend avoids it and delivers a chokeslam to Jada Parker. She lands a knee on her, then wears her down with a submission hold. Lash Legend whips Jada Parker into the corner, then runs her over with a clothesline and wears down Jada Parker with a bear hug. She connects with a overhand chop, then looks to land a standing splash on her. Jada Parker rolls out of the way, then fires off right hands and lefts, hands on Lash Legend's midsection. She follows it up with a flying shoulder tackle to Lash Legend and delivers a hip attack, then delivers a backstabber and a blockbuster to Lash Legend. Lash Legend rocks Jada Parker with the ripcord knee, then connects with a till a war backbreaker. She goes for a pin, but Jada Parker kicks out and Lash Legend charges at her in the corner. Jada Parker moves out of the way and drapes her across the middle turnbuckle. Then fires off right hands on her and connects with a signature hip attack. She sends Lash Legend crashing into the mat with a Samoan drop, but Lash Legend drags Jada Parker out of the ring. Lash Legend runs over Jada Parker with a pump kick, then sends her crashing into the announcer desk with the last extensions. Lash Legend dumps Jada Parker in the ring, then connects with another Lash extensions on her back in the ring for the win. Why did the referee did not do his job by having having Lash Lash and Jada Parker get back in the ring? The referee is supposed to put Jada Parker and Lash Lash back in the ring. That referee was terrible and he was not doing his job. So anyway, the winner of the match, Lash Lash, and this was a pretty good match. What it was, but in my opinion, Jada Parker should have won that match. All right. After the match, in Aaron. It says, after the match, in your rage, Jada Parker blindsides Lash Lash from behind on the entrance ramp and sends her crashing into the ring steps. Shoulder first, she then delivers a hip attack to Lash Lash that sends her crashing through two of the barricades. Javon Evans then makes his way to the ring. So we hear from Javon Evans. Alright, this was a good promo by Javon Evans. Javon Evans says he knows the fans expect him to come to the ring and be excited, but after he waved, he doesn't think that he can do that. He says he thought he had over family when he beat Trick Williams in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and while WWE legends had given him great advice, Wade felt different. He says he felt nervous, and if there was any night he was going to be NXT champion. It was August 24th. He says he called him baby sister to tell her that her older brother would be the youngest NXT champion in history, but he didn't do that. Javon Evans says he heard the referee count to 3, but he saw Overfamily's foot under the rope. He says that's when Overfamily capitalized, but before he knew it, Overfamily hand was raised in the air. He apologizes to the fans, letting him down. He then says he also felt like he let himself down and says he don't talk to anyone but his feelings for a good week. We see someone driving a motorcycle appear on the Tigertron, and they get off of it as Javon Evans tells them that he isn't playing around. The Undertaker gong sounds, but Josh Briggs instead appears and says he hates everything Javon Evans represents in the locker room. Javon Evans tells Josh Briggs that he's not trying to listen to him right now. But Josh Briggs says Javon Evans is from a generation that just tweets things. He says he should just confront it over family in person to get an NXT Championship rematch. Then tells Javon Evans to try being him. Javon Evans says he's trying to be nice and tell him that he's not in the mood respectfully, but Josh Briggs continues to talking over him and says he's not done talking. He says Javon Evans is looking for someone to get a gold star. But he's not good enough at the end of the day, and runs over Javon Evans with a pump kick. He fires off stones on Javon Evans. He tells Javon Evans he needs to learn when to fight and when to lay down. Josh Briggs grabs a chair from the outside, then sets it up and chokes Javon Evans on top of his head. That was a brutal spot. You know what I'm saying? I hope Javon Evans will get back on Josh Briggs. All right, let's move on. Zaya Brookside then makes her way to the ring. Candice LeRae follows. All right, so we get the next match right here. Zaya Brookside versus Candice LeRae in a first round match for the WWE Speed Women's Championship No More Contenders tournament. And this was a squash match. The bell rings and Brookside rolls out Candice LeRae as the 3-minute timer begins. Candice LeRae kicks out, but Brookside catches her with a hurricanrana and delivers a second one to her. She connects with a single leg drop kick on Candice LeRae, then follows it up with the meter and a Russian leg sweep as a minute has already run out on the clock. Candice LeRae sends Brookside crashing out of the ring, then dumps her back in the ring. Brookside rolls up Candice LeRae, but Candice LeRae kicks out and lands a knee as the clock approaches a minute and 20 seconds. Candice LeRae delivers a tornado DDT to Brookside off the ropes as the clock hits 30 seconds, then follows it up with a springboard moonsault for the win. The winner of the match, Candice LeRae. This was a squash match, but I'm glad to see Candice LeRae back on NXT. That's all I gotta say. This match itself was squash. Trick Williams then makes his way to the ring. We hear from Trick Williams. Trick Williams meant what he said last week when he called himself the greatest and hottest NXT star over who ever lived. He says there are many out there who don't care about NXT, but the locker room has made sure that isn't the case. Then says everyone wishes that he had what he has. He says all the favorites that the fans love don't love him back. DIY music hits and they make their way to the ring. Johnny Gargano tells the fans that himself and Tommaso Ciampa do love. Then says they heard that the NXT homecoming is in 2 weeks, but they decide to stop by a little earlier. He says today is the 10th year anniversary of DIY being in NXT. Johnny Gargano says Trick Williams may be a 2-time NXT champion, but so is Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa and Johnny Gargano point out that Johnny Gargano is a 3-time NXT champion, and they both form tag team champions, but neither of them has won the TNA World Champion. Johnny Gargano says Trick Williams resumes speak of himself, and one thing they all have in common is their passion of NXT. He says there were two guys who would define an era of NXT and bleed black and gold, himself and Johnny Gargano. Trick Williams says Gargano is Johnny Takeover and Ciampa is Blackheart. He says everyone talk about how great DIY was until he came along. Tommaso Ciampa shows Trick Williams and Johnny Gargano lands a super kick on him. DIY then lands meeting in the middle on Trick Williams. This was a fun segment for what it was, but I was so glad to see DIY there on NXT. Kylie Armstrong then makes her way to the ring. Jordynne Grace follows. So we get the next match: Jordynne Grace versus Kylie Armstrong. In my dream, I want to see a dream match between Kylie Armstrong and Bianca Belair. Those two will that would be a dream match between Kylie Armstrong and versus Bianca Belair. Sign me up to see that match between Kylie Armstrong and Bianca Belair. But anyway, let me get back on track. I just had to put that out there. Jordynne Grace versus Kylie Armstrong. And this match right here, this was a quick match for what it was. The bell rings and Jordynne Grace fires all shots on Kylie Armstrong in the corner. She whips her into the opposite one, but Kylie Armstrong fires off strikes off her on Jordynne Grace in the corner. She follows it up with a back body drop, then fires off shoulders on Jordynne Grace in the corner. Jordynne Grace delivers a sliced bread on Kylie Armstrong, then changes in a camel clutch on her. Kylie Armstrong fires off a stump on Jordynne Grace's midsection and lands a kick on her oblique. Then sends her face crashing into the mat. Jordynne Grace and Kylie Armstrong teeter the ropes, and Jordynne Grace looks to land a sunset flip on Kylie Armstrong. But Kylie Armstrong blocks Jordynne Grace and rocks her with a right hand. Kylie Armstrong sends Jordynne Grace bouncing off the top rope. Then follows it up with a backbreaker. Jordynne Grace fires off knees on Kylie Armstrong. Then runs her over with a pair of clotheslines. Kylie Armstrong delivers a screw slam, but Jordynne Grace levels to Kylie Armstrong with a back elbow and follows it up with the Grace driver for the win. The winner of the match, the Juggernaut Jordynne Grace. This was a quick match for what it was. After the match, Blake Monroe confronts Jordynne Grace on the entrance ramp. Jordynne Grace sends Blake Monroe crashing into the ring steps, but security guards pull Jordynne Grace off Blake Monroe as Blake Monroe begins bleeding from her mouth. So Josh Briggs and Chase U then all make their way to the ring. Alright, so we get the next match. So we get Josh Briggs versus Andre Chase, accompanied by Kyle Dixon and Uriah Connors. And this match right here, this was also a quick match. The bell rings and Josh Briggs runs over Chase U. He levels him with a back elbow, but Chase connects with a hurricane on Josh Briggs and looks to land a crossbody on him. off the apron. Josh Ridge sends Chase crashing into the ring post, then dumps him back in the ring and lands a stomp on him. Chase watches Josh Ridge with the insecurity, then rains down right hands on him. Josh Ridge lands a boss man slam on Chase, but Chase catches Josh Ridge with a stunner and follows it up with a crossbody off the top rope. He goes for a pin, but Andre Chase kicks out. Josh Ridge then runs over Chase U with a big boot to the win. With big boot for the win. The winner of the match, Josh Ridge. This was a quick match as well. Back after the match, Josh Ridge attached Dion Lennox. What's his name? Dion sends Connors crashing through the announcer desk with a choke slam. So Kel Dixon. So he attacks Kel Dixon and Uriah Connors as well too. All right, let's move on. So we get it says after the match, Josh Ridge attacks Dixon and sends Connors crashing through the announcer desk with a choke slam. Over Femi, Ricky Saints, Hank Walker, and Tank Langer then make their way to the ring. Dark State follows. So we get Over Femi, Ricky Saints, Hank Walker, and Tank Langer versus Dark State in the 8-man tag team match. And this 8-man tag team match, this was a fun 8-man tag team match right here. Lager and Shaquan Sugars begin the action. The bell rings and Shaquan Sugars fires off right hands and on Lager. Dion Lennox tags in and levels Lager with a clothesline, then tags in Cutler James. Lager lands a back elbow on Cutler James, then tags in Walker. Walker lands a bulldog on James before Femi tags in and continues ran down on James. He then mocks Ricky Saints by hitting a signature pose in front of him before everyone begins brawling with one another. Femi delivers a collar to James Cutler, then lands a splash on him alongside with Ricky Saints, Walker and Hank Walker and Walker and Lager. Dion Lennox tags in and fires off right hands on Femi, but Femi runs over Dion Lennox with a boot to him and tags in Walker. Walker lands an accidental on Dion Lennox, then tags in Lager. Lager lands a double accidental off his own on Dion Lennox off the middle rope. Cutler James tags in and fires off a right hand on Walker. Iris Griffin tags in and Dark State teams up on Walker before Iris Griffin wears him down with a submission hold and continues wearing down Walker. Griffin whips Walker into the corner, but Lager gets his elbow in the way to protect Walker, and Walker levels Iris Griffin with a clothesline. Lager and Dion Lennox tag in, and Lager runs over Dion Lennox with a series of clotheslines and shoulder tackles. Ricky Saints tags in and levels Dion Lennox with a tornado DDT out of the corner. But Femi tags himself in as Shaquan Sugars tags in on his side. Femi tosses Shaquan Sugars over to Ricky Saints, who takes him down. Dark State sets up for the quadruple powerbomb on Walker, but Lager comes to Walker's aid with Ricky Saints and Femi have brawled with one another up the entrance ramp. James Cutler tags in and runs over Walker with a clothesline, but Walker calls Joe Hendry's name to summon him. Joe Hendry's music hits and he appears. This opens the door for Walker and Lager to land a flying shoulder tackle powerbomb combination on Cutler James for the win. The winners of the match, Femi, Ricky Saints, Hank Walker, and Tank Lager. This was a fun 8-man tag team match. And it says after the match, we saw backstage that Femi and Ricky Saints were brawling, and then security guards were breaking it up. And that's one thing I hate about doing NXT. I hate security guards on NXT, man. Let Ricky Saints and Femi brawl. I hate when security guards always gotta break it up before NXT went off the air. So let Femi and Ricky Saints brawl. That's all I gotta say. You gotta give the people what they want, what they came to see. And you know I'm speaking facts from the bottom of my heart. Get rid of security. and let Ricky Saints and Over Family duke it out. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, because Ricky Saints is coming after Over Family for his title. Do you think that Ricky Saints is going to dethrone Over Family? No. But in my opinion, I think that Over Family is going to retain the NXT Championship, or it can go a different. It can go all the way around. What if Ricky Saints shocks the world by dethroning Over Family to become your new NXT champion? What would happen? Sound off down below in the comment section. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my WWE NXT review on highlights, make sure you guys please go watch the video from all the way from the beginning all the way towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content that I do on the channel. Make sure you guys go check out my WWE Raw review on highlights that I did on the channel. And that's all I gotta say. But Triple H, I'm tuning into SmackDown. Do not finesse us, man. Don't play with us, man. There's been reports and rumors that AJ Lee is going to show up. Triple H, do not fumble the bag on this one. Do not disappoint do not disappoint me in the wrestling community, man. There's been reports that AJ Lee was going to show up, and the rumor's going to be true, because I miss AJ Lee in 2014, and that's all I gotta say. But Triple H, do not fumble the bag. If I see AJ Lee does not show up, we all gonna be disappointed, and that's all I gotta say. But I hope AJ Lee shows up on Friday Night SmackDown. Because after that promo on Monday Night Raw, Becky Lynch slapping CM Punk multiple times, yeah, AJ Lee was mad about that. So, it is what it is. But I hope AJ Lee shows up on Friday Night SmackDown. And that's all I got to say. Because I miss AJ Lee doing 2014. So, that's all I miss AJ Lee in 2014. That's all I got to say. But I have to hear that music one more time, man. Please, AJ Lee, show up on Friday Night SmackDown. Because CM Punk is going to be in Chicago at Friday Night SmackDown. Please, AJ Lee, show up. And Triple H, do the right thing. Do not finesse us. You got to strike while the iron is hot by having AJ Lee make her huge return. If she returns to WWE, the crowd is going to explode. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is for AJ Lee. So that's all I got to say. But Triple H, do not play with us, man. Do not finesse us, man. Do not disappoint me in the Western community. That's all I gotta say. But anyway, I'm finna wrap this video. I'm finna get up out of here. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe, and share my video. Share all my videos with your friends and family that are wrestling fans, because I'm on the road to 11K and become a YouTube partner. So make sure you guys watch all my videos and all my YouTube shorts, and that's all I gotta say for watch time hours. That way I can get the watch hours I deserve, because other YouTubers are not helping me out, but all my real supporters are. So I thank all my real supporters for helping me out there. So I will see you guys tonight at 4 o'clock a.m. Pacific time on my upcoming world premiere of my WWE NXT review on highlights. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang.